gotta. Yeah, hi. Ow! Hi, this is Baby Screen Queen. I hope you're doing okay. I'm doing okay because today I'm going to reveal my top three favorite Star Wars movies, episodes 4 through 6 only. But before I get to that, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the notification bell button to be notified when I post up new videos. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok under the same name, Baby Screen Queen. So let's just get into it. The countdown. That was a long pause. So, coming in at number three of my favorite Star Wars movies from episodes 4 through 6 is 1977's New Hope. Love New Hope. I mean, it was a starter kit. And this was like George Lucas' best film that he created. I mean, how can you think of something like that? We see other futuristic movies, you know, either at that time or before its time. But it's nothing like Star Wars. You talking about the good guy, talking about the bad guy, and then you introduced to the greatest villain of all time, and that's Darth Vader. Darth Vader. That is one scary mofo. I'm telling you. And so, what I love about this movie is that it talks about like how you have to accept the fact that you have something special because of your parents, like Obi-Wan did with Luke. Obi-Wan told that, your father was a Jedi, he has the Force, and it's in you. And because he sensed it. And he wanted Luke to learn the ways of the Force. And now you get C-3PO and R2-D2 on Tatooine because Princess Leia gave the blueprint of the Death Star and the plan and a message to Obi-Wan saying that, send these plans to my home planet Alderaan because we need to blow up the Death Star. And that didn't happen because her home planet was blown up. And then after, the stormtroopers, Darth Vader and stormtroopers realized that the droids were on Tatooine and that the smugglers had smuggled the two droids to Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, Luke's aunt and uncle. Uh, they, when Luke realized that maybe the stormtroopers went back to their home, and when he came home, they were gone. You see the skeletons. Oh gosh. And that's, because at first Obi-Wan said, hey, learn the Force, what have you. Luke said no. And then he said, I want to learn the Force, learn the ways of the Force, excuse me, like his father. And that's when they met Han Solo. They want Han Solo and Chewie to get them off the planet. And I think that's when maybe during that scene, like I said again, that Darth Vader and his peeps had blew up Alderaan, Leia's home planet, and Obi-Wan sensed it while he was training Luke. So Luke, Han, Chewie, and Obi-Wan trying to save Princess Leia, and they did, okay. And then you see the battle between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Obi-Wan purposely let Darth Vader unalive him for the and that's the last battle that they had because they had other battles, between maybe two. Yeah, two. They fought twice before. And so he did that. Obi-Wan wanted Darth Vader to do that so he can be with Luke, to speak through Luke. Okay? So now they rescued Princess Leia, and they had to go to Yavin 4. That's a rebel base. Yavin 4, I think that's how you pronounce it. Because the plan is to go to Death Star, have go and the use their weapons to get into the exhaust port so they can blow the reactor. So now the battle, now they going, okay? Darth Vader realized where the rebel base is located, and then you see him and his peeps coming in strong. So there was a battle, the rebels had lost their soldiers. I think R2D2 was hit at one point, and C3PO was worried. I love their relationship. Okay, and long story short, you hear Obi-Wan saying that, use the Force, Luke, use the Force. And Han Solo, he wanted Han Solo to be part of the battle, but Han's like, nope, I'm here to do my one job and go back, get my money, let me go. So anyway, he's using like the tracker, Luke losing the tracker, but Obi-Wan said, "Don't use the Force," and then he got rid of the track, and then Darth Vader was on his tail, right? And Darth Vader was like, the Force was strong in this one, and it's like, wait, what do you mean? It's very strong. What do you mean it's very strong? And then here comes Han hitting Darth Vader's ship. Not, it didn't kill him, but it did twirl his butt around. He's like, woo! And then that's when Han said, "Okay, kid, this is your time." And then that's when Luke used the Force, and then you know used his weapon. And then it went into the exhaust pipe, and the rebel soldiers who were left, including Luke and Han, they went away, and then the Death Star blew up, and then they won, and then Leia rewarded Han Solo and Luke, and I'm going to include Chewbacca too. And what I love about it is, it's like that whole faith thing. Like, okay, I have it. I can't question it. I can't be fearful of it. Okay, just boom. And that's when Obi-Wan said, after all that, you know, saying to Luke, "May the Force be with you." Like, what? It's almost like, may God be with you. May the Force be with you. But what my favorite thing is the C3PO and R2D2. I love their relationship. Like when they landed on Tatooine, they had to go to separate ways. It's like, no, you got to go through here. And R2 said, like, no, you got to go here, because he had to go to see Obi-Wan. That's what Princess Leia wanted R2D2 to go to see Obi-Wan. And then, but for C3PO to kick R2D2, and then R2D2 just went on his way, and C3PO went his way. But R2D2 was such a sassy droid that you understood what he was saying. You don't need no subtitles. You don't at all, because it's funny. And them smugglers, and R2's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then it's like, shot R2D2, and R2D2 did the Michael Jackson scream. Michael Jackson scream, and James Brown scream. All right. I love it. Han Solo and Luke battling for Leia's affection. Like Han Solo, like, you think that the princess and I, here comes Luke. No, no, no. It's like, she's mine. But anyway, I like the movie, and I can't imagine what it felt like to be in a movie, to see that and come out like, oh, because it was huge. When it came out, it was huge, and people loved it. Merches and people dressing up as Jedis, and even like Darth Vader and stormtroopers. I mean, I can understand why they so enthralled by Darth Vader, because I mean, that is one scary mofo, but he's very intriguing. And I know they be asking questions like, what does he mean that he felt the strong, like the Force with Luke? Like, why is it so strong with him? I mean, that's the question I know that the fans at that time had, but yeah, I mean, George Lucas did it. I mean, even when I watched it as a little girl, I wasn't even born when it came out. I was born 9 years later in '86. But I can imagine. As 1977? Please. I mean, you're talking about like the films of horror movies, and then you get, space movies, to calm that down. I mean, I love it. I love it. So that is my number three, 1977's New Hope. Coming in at number two of my top three favorite Star Wars movies from episodes 4 through 6 is 1980's Empire Strikes Back. Now, if it's your number one, I'm not even going to argue with that. You're right. You're right. Yeah, you're not wrong. Like Temple of Doom. If Temple of Doom is your number one, hey, you're not wrong. Again, it's a toss-up with me. So number two is Empire Strikes Back. Now, what I love about Empire Strikes Back is that now it's getting emotional. Like, it's getting deep with emotions. And it's shocking with the revelation. Right? And I did see the reaction of that revelation during that time. and hearing the audience shock. Oh gosh, I wish I was there because it came out in 1980 and I was born 6 years later. Why? Why? So I'm not gonna go through the whole movie. It's just like they are hot. They know that Darth Vader and the rest of the crew are looking for the rebellion alliance, and they were on the planet of Hoth. And so, but anyway, long story short, they caught them, and Luke and R2D2 had to go to Dagobah, and Han and Han, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, and C-3PO, you know, they left and they landed on this asteroid planet. I don't know what. But my favorite part about that is that when Princess Leia was resting and she saw something flying by, and it was big. You saw wings. Then you see it again. She getting closer. Then it flew again, and then she getting close, and then it looks like a sunflower. It's like a sunflower plus a leech, and it's a bat. Sunflower, leech, bat, bird. I sound country as hell. I don't know what that was, but that scared the crap out of me. And see that while that was happening, Han Solo and Chewbacca was trying to fix the ship because they trying to go in hyperdrive and it didn't work. So anyway, Leia said, "Hey, we need to get out because there's something outside, outside in the cave." So they went, and then one flew by Leia, and I guess one, I think that same sunflower, leech, bat, bird, I don't know what it is, flew by Chewbacca, and here comes C-3PO in the Millennium Falcon. That's me. I like to tell the whole story. Y'all deal with it. I be on the news. I saw the whole thing. Yeah, them birds was killing my friends. And I had to say, God bless them. Thank you for your service. Man, hey, look, I tried, but I have to save the ship. But I can't fly it. Dad, if you fall, I will leave you. Who you think I am? So they left, and they went to Bespin. And who governed Bespin? Lando Calrissian, played by Billy D. Williams. This, like, I don't know what to say because his voice, is so silky smooth. So they were, so they were trapped because Boba Fett had followed Han Solo after that whole asteroid thingamajiggy in the cave, what have you, and let Darth Vader know where Leia and the group were in Bespin, and said, "Hey, Darth Vader said I need Luke because remember he said the Force is strong with this one." So anyway, so Luke met up with Jedi Master Yoda. Yoda just came in just like a run amok, eating Luke's food, getting to his crap. Luke took something away. Oh no, and they're just throwing stuff. Found a light. Ooh. And then here comes R2D2, trying to grab the light, and then here comes Yoda. Mine. And so, he trained Luke, and Luke, was like, I don't think I can do this and this and that and the third. And here comes Yoda using his force to get his Luke's ship. Not ship, spaceship. It's like, how do you do that? It's like all you gotta do is just stop getting angry, or you're gonna succumb to the dark side. Duh. Darth Vader and Lando made a plan that they will hold Leia and Han and Chewbacca and C-3PO hostage and use Han as a test for this carbonite so he can use on Luke. And Lando was like, he's like, oh gosh, I'm in trouble now. But anyway, so cut it short. They did use it on Han Solo. He was they used a carbonite on Han Solo. He was frozen, and we want to make sure that he is alive. So he was alive, and Darth Vader told Boba Fett, hey, you can get him and give it to Jabba the Hutt. And so now that Luke sensed that something was wrong, and Yoda was like, no, you can't go and save your friends, basically. He's like, I'll be back to finish my training. And then once Luke left, you hear Obi-Wan saying that he's our only hope. But then here comes Yoda saying, no, there's another. The freak. What? Darth Vader said he felt the force, he felt the force with Luke, and it's strong. Now you're going to tell me there's another? Who? Luke came to Bespin and saw Leia, and then all of a sudden Leia say, "Hey, go, 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 go." Then R2D2 and Luke was like going with him, and I don't know what happened with Luke. I don't know he fell into a room or was I don't know what, but Lando saved Chewbacca, C-3PO, who was disassembled. That was funny as hell, and Leia, and R2D2. All of them went to the Millennium Falcon. Now here comes a battle between Luke and Darth Vader. They fought, and Darth Vader cut his arm, and then Darth Vader was like, you can join me, this and that and the third. And Luke was like, no, I'm not. And Darth Vader asked Luke, I said, I bet you that Obi-Wan had told you about your father. And Luke was like, he told me enough. He said that you killed him. And then here comes the bombshell.
No, I am your father.
Dun 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 dun. Like, what? And then Luke's like, it's not true, it's impossible. Search your feelings, you know it is true, Darth Vader said, and here comes Luke. No, no. And then saying that, hey, you and I can overthrow the Emperor and rule the galaxy as father and son. And Luke ain't having it, so he just fell with his, and then fell to the bottom of the ship, and he landed on his antennas, and he trying to get back up, but no, and he was hanging upside down, and then he did the Force on Leia. Now here comes another question. Leia, save me, save me. And then Leia was like, we gotta turn around. Lando was like, what? So we gotta turn around. Cause it's Luke. We gotta save Luke. What do you mean save? And then here comes Chewbacca. So you better go and get your asses up. That's how. And then so they did. They saved Luke, and Darth Vader trying to get them, but R2D2 fixed the hyperdrive, and then they went. And then you see Darth Vader just like look, and he just walked away. At the end, not Darth Vader, Lando and Chewbacca told Leia and C-3PO, R2D2, and Luke that they're gonna find Han. And then Luke got his prosthetic arm, robotic prosthetic arm, and then that was it. And that was a bombshell. Now the question is that how can Luke use the Force on Leia? And that is like, it's like, hold up. Don't tell me that Leia is Luke's sister, because that's the only way. That's the only way. If not, then what the heck was that? Because he didn't use that. Because Luke didn't use that on Han. But Leia has the Force. Why the freak did she kiss him? But then again, it's like they didn't know. Luke and Leia did not know they were siblings. So it's like she kissed Luke to make Han jealous. Like, hey, I rescued Luke from that Wampa, whatever, what have you, and I should be rewarded. And then of course, she kissed Luke to make him jealous, and then Han saw through that, and then he you know got his little from her, and she was like, oh. And here comes the C-3PO. Master, I did it. I think I found this. It's like, and then someone what? You. It's like, I'm so sick of you. Okay. Did they turn him off because he was talking too much? I like Empire Strikes Back because now it's getting deeper and darker, and it's very emotional. It's like my father, like Obi-Wan said that my father was unalive by Darth Vader, and then now you see him using the Force on Leia. It could possibly be that Leia and Luke are siblings. So it's like, now what? Now we gotta rescue Han Solo. But I like it, because it's like a start of something like very deep. And now it's like, I know Luke wanted answers. Everybody wanted answers now. Like, what? And I did see reactions of people who have not seen Star Wars, and they start seeing Star Wars episodes 4 through 5, not 4 through 5, 4 through 6, and seeing episode 5, that whole revelation of Darth Vader being Luke's father, from kids to young people and people my age who had never seen not Darth Vader. I'm gonna keep messing it up. Star Wars, that shocked like, oh, I wish I was there in 1980 to know what that felt like, and but I did see a reaction during that year, like, what the it's just like, it's like a soap opera, like, what? And then I can use the force on my sister. My sister can have a force, or supposedly his sister. So that is my number two, 1980 Empire Strikes Back.